Yo, 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 welcome back to Living for a Living podcast with your boy Joey Bradley. This week we finally got a guest on after I don't know how many episodes of solo. Finally got tired of talking to myself. And so our guest today is a good buddy of mine. We played college football together. He's now working and training at a gym and also coaching high school back in his home state of New Jersey. And I think he likes to keep it real just like myself, so I'm interested to see where this conversation goes. So, our guest today, my buddy, Nick Music.
Living for a living, baby. How you doing?
Yeah, bro, you're the first Zoom guest. I'll admit you're kind of you're the guinea pig also right now. I can't wait until we get done, and I'm gonna have to throw it in the editing software. I've never done it, but
yeah.
We're gonna have some fun little guests coming up in the next week or so. Next couple weeks, I've been, bro.
You getting a birdie?
I haven't hit up Birdie. I thought about hitting him up for this, and then and we have a special guest joining us on this, at 20 mark and bringing him in, but talk to Birdie forever, bro.
Yeah, he's you heard he's got a little guy now coming, right?
Really?
Bert Jr.
Oh my God.
They just did a gender reveal last week or so.
Really?
Yeah, little boy.
Oh, Birdie. Stretch Game Killer Jr.
Exactly. Who thought that kid would have been married first and with a kid, right?
Dude,
first. He's first to both.
Right.
He's first to both. Out of our close friends. Yeah.
Man, I would have thought he'd still be hanging out in the dorms at this age.
You would have thought, right? Chasing some tail in the dorms.
For sure. I think I'm hanging out with college girls more than Birdie is now at this age. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. Let the dream live, bro.
Hey, man, what's the dazed and confused line, man? I get older, they can stay the same age.
That's it, right?
Flag for pedophilia right here.
Yeah. Where are you exactly?
I'm in this little city about hour and a half outside of Prague called Jihlava.
Okay.
And it's it's been an interesting lockdown so far. It was dope to start summer when I got here. No masks, no lockdown, no nothing. It was normal life. And then starting about a month or two ago, masks on public transportation. And then now we've been in semi lockdown for 6 weeks where only grocery stores are open.
Jeez. Yeah, it's making its way, our way over here on the east. Rumblings about how in the next 2 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks, they're going to start shutting it down. Restaurants, bars, gyms.
But your gym's still open right now?
Yeah, we're still rocking. We're at a 25% capacity. So throughout the day, people got to sign up for time slots.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we do 90-minute time slots for the majority of the day, and then that little gap from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. is when we get our most foot traffic in there, most people coming in. So we want to accommodate as many people as we can. So we actually reduce it down to 60 minutes. So it's 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7. And then we close at 11. So once 8 kicks back in, 8 to 9:30, 9:30 to 11.
Okay, gotcha.
So,
gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, we've been steady. It's steady for the most part throughout the day. You can tell though this last week or so, people are throwing the news on and they're getting a little worried, and we're getting more cancellations or can you freeze my account and shit like that.
Really? Okay.
So, yeah, you could see it's starting to thin up a little bit in the gym, which sucks honestly, because I think it's just the whole narrative that they spew out to us, and people are taking it, running with it, and fucking us, really. So
no, and the whole thing. I mean, I've been pretty vocal since day one on my thoughts about this
you
stuff.
You ain't shy now.
I'm not shy. I've lost some friends and family followers along the way, you know, which
Whatever.
is what
Yeah.
it is. But like the it's so backwards to me of like closing the gyms first, and that's how it was here also. Like gyms were literally shut down before restaurants, before stores, before everything. And I mean, like, tell me to throw a mask on. Like, I can spray down everything I touch in the gym. Like,
Sure.
in my opinion, gyms can almost be more sanitary than anywhere else in a way, you know, like,
I agree 1,000%. I mean, there's a million things I can go into with that, which we can certainly get into. But yeah, I mean, the steps we had to take just to even open the gym back up, just to like follow, you know, what the right protocol should be. You know, we had to install new chemical units and stuff in to provide that solution for the spray bottles.
okay.
You know, we installed that. We stationed sanitizer bottles all over the gym. You know, we had to up our cleaning crew in terms of the days per week that they'd come in and clean. Um, just like the constant little things that we'd have to. I mean, the expenses for the gym in terms of cleaning products are obviously through the roof. So it's like it's just trying to manage that whole dynamic with it and allowing people to know that listen, it's going to be all right. Like we're taking the appropriate steps to make this work for you to make you feel comfortable and come in and just enjoy a workout. You just got to trust us in a way. And if you don't feel comfortable, don't even bother then. It's okay.
Exactly.
Like that's our human right. If you don't want to do something, don't do it. Like,
Just stay at home. It's all good.
but the biggest thing that boggles my mind is that there are people that are just so fucked up in a sense that they want to ruin people's lives. They want to reach out to us and threaten us that they're going to go tell on us because we have, you know, we do great with our social media
Yeah.
and giving our gym and our members and everybody exposure. And, you know, there's been a few photos that, you know, maybe training clients haven't had a mask on
Okay.
during their sets working out, which is whatever. And people will bash us and try to talk shit to us and reach out to our owners through our Instagram page, just saying like, you guys are gonna get shut down. I can't believe you're doing this and allowing people to walk around like that. It's like you have nothing better to do with your day. You
No,
really don't.
and they the thing is they don't, you know,
I know.
like
I
that's this like, you know, I mean, I'm falling into the trap of like, man, I've I've been on Twitter talking shit on, I mean, not even really talk, but three tweet threads where I'm, you know,
Yeah.
explaining something, and then I get done with it. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing right now, bro? Like, I have too much time, you know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I can read, I can watch Netflix, I can do whatever, but then I'm still getting in Twitter arguments, and
I know.
it's just crazy. Like the you know, I was hoping, I've been talking to a friend about like how we all, you know, we need to come together. And you know, I've been preaching that through
Sure.
before all this shit, you know, like
Nah,
it's a common theme we need to. But like, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to come together and like get rid of my values, or like, you know, like I'm not going to come together at the detriment of like my personal beliefs, I guess, you know what I mean,
sure.
like to a certain degree.
Yeah.
And it's like the narrative, like you said, it's been like
Yeah.
you're either full on board, or if you disagree with point 1C, then you're the
I know.
enemy, you
I
know.
know.
And it's like, bro, no, I'm on the team. I don't want people to die. I just,
I
you know,
know.
come on.
Yeah, it's like, you know, I have a livelihood I have to worry about, you know, provide, God forbid someone has a family, right? I'm a single guy. We're, you know, 30. How old are you now?
I'm 30, baby. Three
Oh,
up.
you are 30. You're in the 30 club. Let's go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you know, I'm single. God forbid I had a kid, you know, a wife. Like these are tough times right now, man. Like, and to tell us that, hey, you can't go to work because you're not a essential business, which if you want to label a gym and fitness and health non-essential, that's where it begins. That's the issue that we're dealing with then, because
Yeah.
that's fucking unbelievable.
No, it's like, okay, I can, if we're gonna get on board with gyms are non-essential, then liquor stores are non-essential also. Places where they sell fucking lottery tickets are non-essential
Sure.
also. Like,
Yeah,
what? Like, okay, McDonald's is non-essential then, you know,
exactly.
like
Absolutely.
just
Absolutely. And when I heard that when it when this all first popped up and they were still allowing liquor stores to open and smoke shops, all that
yeah,
shit, just like that's just them controlling us at the end of the day. They're spinning this their own way. They want to do what they want to do, and the fact that we have to just take it and live with it, like that's what's wrong, man. Like if this virus has shown anything, it's to prioritize health, you know. And now,
100%.
working in the industry I work in with a gym, man, like a gym is a lot of abusers' safe place, whether it's alcohol, drugs, whatever the case may be. They go there as a getaway, right? Kind of just
100%.
distance themselves from that bullshit, and the fact that now you're keeping them inside, that's gonna make them revert back to their old ways,
For
essentially. And
sh-
it's
for sure, man. Like,
and I read, I forget who I was reading. They were just saying, which I assumed, drug, alcohol, rates and abuse and deaths and all that stuff, along with domestic, those are all through the roof right now. Like,
suicide,
yeah,
all
suicide, right? It's all that stuff. You're getting trapped and bunkered up, like for how many months, not being able to do anything. That shit's bound to happen. It's
yeah.
bound to
I mean, bro, personally,
take to a
dude,
level. Yeah,
this last year or so, like I haven't really been smoking. Like I'm like, and you know me, like
yeah, yeah,
I've blown tough throughout my life. And this last year or so, like I've been off, like making my own,
yeah,
like being motivated. And, I don't think weed's like physically addictive or anything, but like it was definitely habitual for me. And,
yeah,
getting to a point where I feel like it was starting to become a problem in terms of like I wasn't accomplishing anything else I wanted to do really.
yeah,
So, bro, I was off it for a while. That first lockdown back in what, March or whatever, when I was in Barcelona, and it was like
yeah,
police state in Barcelona for like 2 months.
yeah,
Man, I was getting hot, like somehow after
yeah,
after a couple weeks, I was finally like, all right, well, what am I gonna do?
yeah,
I'm finding somebody to get some bud from, and then
yeah.
just reverting back to my old ways that are just
Sure.
incredibly unproductive. And like I think I'm fairly like mentally strong to like recognize it and get out of it,
Yeah,
and then I
yeah,
had another season, and I
yeah,
moved. But then same shit here was like I was good, wasn't smoking at all, like um not even wanting to. And then lockdown hit, like no restaurants, no gym, no nothing. Like, all right, so what am I, and then you just like waste some time. 2 weeks
yeah,
goes by, I don't even realize, just like I can attest to it. And but I feel like I'm lucky because I'm able to maybe reel myself back in. But
yeah.
like you said, bro, there's probably a lot of people who they hit this and it's just a downhill, once they get back on that road.
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely. And I think one of the words that I would just take from what you just said and what you were just discussing is time. And I think we both value that very, very much so. And that for somebody to tell me that, I gotta be locked down and I can't live my life, like, how much time do we have walking around this earth? Like, I know that sounds like, whatever,
Yeah.
but I value that very much so. And, you know, I don't want to be put in a position where I look back years from now, I'm like, I just lost out on 6, 7, 8 months of my life, just being locked away, not being able to do shit just because of a virus that I understand has caused quite a bit of, harm to a lot of people. And I know the numbers say some things and they're saying numbers may not be exactly what they are announced as, but at the end of the day, I want to still live my life, man. I don't know how long I'm going to be here. I don't know anytime what could happen with me or a family member or something like that. That's why, like, mostly during this time, I'm trying to like put away which I didn't have a lot of burnt bridges, but like anyone that I may be upset at or something like that, I'm trying to just like rewire myself and say, like, if this is showing you anything, it's like, who knows at any moment in time how your life can turn in a drastic measure.
For
Like
sure.
this is craziness right now. So you know what I'm saying? Like time is, as I said before, time is very, very valuable to me.
Yeah, and it's
I
just
love
been.
spending my time with you at 7 a.m. on a Friday.
I know, dude. I'm
Let's. I
exactly.
woke up at 6 a.m. I said, "Let's go, JB, let's
I know.
go."
I know that's been the funny thing. I've been scheduling a couple of these, and like, I'm 9 hours ahead of West Coast and only 6 hours ahead
Yeah,
of East Coast. But then
yeah,
it's like, all right. And I realized I've been asking people mornings or evenings, and then I was like, wait a minute. No, it's got to be mornings or afternoons for me. I can't do
yeah,
evenings. I guess
yeah,
I
yeah,
could, but I'd like to, now that I know this time with this natural light and a camera and I'm working
yeah,
on, like,
yeah,
I think this is the time of day I need to do it, just
yeah,
so, although we haven't been getting any sun out here, but
yeah.
no, man,
You
the
look great,
time
man.
is.
You look great. You're glowing right now.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I know.
Glowing.
It's we had sun for like the first time in, dude, this month or 6 weeks out here has been interesting, just because,
Yeah.
like,
What kind of weather? I don't even know. What's the weather like?
very Seattle-y, like these last couple.
Really?
Yeah, like, so not super cold, but definitely a little rain, a lot of gray, and on top of already like semi depression of lockdown, like that
Yeah.
doesn't fucking help,
Nah.
and um but no,
Tell you what,
it's
man. I'll tell you what. For a dude that grew up in Seattle, living in parts over there that are relatable to Seattle, and how high spirited of a dude you are, I give you props, man. I
well,
do.
thank you, man.
I do.
It's not always like, that's what I always like try and tell people too, is like, I know that obviously, like, Instagram culture and like we share our highlights and all that shit, and
Of
like
course.
for the
Oh,
most part I
highlights
come
them.
off like super positive, and I try and
Yeah.
share some of my negative thoughts too, but like that's what I try and tell people is like, I am positive, but for like as equally positive as I can be, and as that height of positivity, I can like be just as dark, like it's
Yeah.
all like a balance of light. And so
Sure.
I've
Yeah.
been trying to work on that a little, of like, all right, let me not get too high, let me not get too
Yeah.
low, like little more in that
Yeah.
maintaining and
Yeah, but it's okay. I mean, dude, it's okay to express yourself, especially. But everybody that knows you knows what type of person you are, and I think you're very unbiased about a lot of topics, which I think is the most important thing, especially when you're, like I said, when you're expressing yourself, is you show objectivity, where you're seeing both sides. You're being fair. That's the
I'm
biggest thing.
trying to. Yeah.
Yeah, you're being fair. You're not strong on one way or another. I think you're just painting a picture for everybody to see, and then just rolling with it. And if people want to take that a certain way, they can go fuck themselves, because that's not acting as an adult, and um, that's not really being just fair and understanding of people's opinions in general. Like,
No, and dude, we're running into a lot of that, like, like that's
well,
what
if
like
you're
worries
like
me
you
the
said, if you're
most.
an ounce, if there's even an ounce of going the opposite way, if somebody thinks we should cut you off, you don't know anything,
Yeah.
right? You're an asshole, like
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. So
Yeah, you want people I mean, like, it goes so like over the boundary, like, all right, call me just an idiot. Like, I'm cool with that. Or call me a fucking
yeah,
conspiracy theorist.
yeah,
I'm cool with it, but like,
yeah,
don't go into like that I don't care about people. Like
yeah,
that's where I got into, speaking of Twitter argument, like I got into a Twitter argument with one of like my best friends from Portugal, who
yeah,
he's one of the few guys I know now who has had the virus. He got it, and
yeah,
he said it fucked with him pretty. Like, I don't know the severity. I don't know if he was hospitalized. We didn't get it all into that. He just said like it was rough for him or whatever.
yeah,
And because I'm, like we said, a little outspoken on some of my beliefs out there with what's
sure,
going on right now. And I kind of like went in on it, and I realized like it wasn't even like him, but it was just like a culmination of like all these like he was like the straw that broke my back, and I wasn't like
yeah,
I was vicious or venomous. It
yeah,
was just went way too hard, or
Add-
like I cared way too much
added
about it.
fuel, added fuel to all the already deep rooted, emotions that you felt about a certain thing, right?
Exactly. And
Yeah,
so like, I mean, luckily with him, like that's my boy. Like
yeah,
he's not going to be one of, but if it was someone else, which there has been, where you get into a little back and forth and then it's just like, it's, like that person's done talking to you,
yeah,
like it's like
right,
as soon as that conversation ends, you get unfollowed or whatever. And it's just like, all right, like that,
yeah,
whatever. But, no, because like, dude, for me, I don't know. I'm gonna ask you that, but for
yeah,
me, I know, I think I know like five or six, and this isn't, I'm not trying to advocate, it's not a big deal or whatever, but like I know like maybe five or six people personally, and then like a couple other like brother of a friend of a friend
yeah,
kind of relations.
yeah,
And this is just where my belief stems from. Of all those people, literally all of them said, fever for a day or two,
yep,
stuffy nose, couldn't the weirdest thing is you can't smell, can't taste. And
sure,
then after like 4 or 5 days, felt good. It was kind of like a flu cold, normal flu cold, and now they're back to
yeah,
feeling good, and so
yeah,
I haven't personally talked to anybody yet, which affects how I see things, that's
yeah,
really been fucked with, by this disease
yeah, yeah.
or virus.
I've come across a handful. There was actually, no, I wouldn't say a decent amount, but like I said, a handful of members that during our lockdown when we were down for a few months that they had contracted it, and they said very similar to what you said. It's very fluish,
Yeah.
fever for a couple days. Um, Now, most of these people that I spoke to were 20s, early 30s, right? So
Okay.
let's just keep that in mind, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, very fluish, body fatigue, just absolutely drained, couldn't get out of bed really. But everybody I talked to was no more than a week of
Yeah.
feeling like that, I would say. Um, some of them still have after effects of the smelling, lack of smell, and lack of
Okay.
taste. It's a little altered. I was actually speaking with um, somebody at the gym, and they were basically just saying how a lot of their tastes of like some foods that they really like are still altered now,
Oh,
and this is
weird.
months after. Yeah, so like you're gonna get some people, I guess, like that are gonna feel the after effects, I guess, with it,
Yeah.
and we're still obviously learning about all the details of it. Uh, but yeah, I haven't dealt with anything personally that's been severe. Um, so yeah, I mean, again, the numbers are what the numbers are, right? We could talk about that all day. Um, Honestly, there was a few times where I thought I contracted it, right? There was like a 2 or 3 day stretch where my body was just I could not move myself from the couch, and it was a
Right.
weekend. I just stayed in. I was ripping through vitamins and different teas and all the essential stuff to hopefully help out my immune system, and I was good by like day 3 or whatever. And I ended up going to see if I had the antibodies, and I've done it a couple times. I don't really know how I feel about getting the actual COVID test just because it's so hit or miss with these false positives and shit.
Dude.
Like, I don't know where to go with it. So I've done the antibodies a couple times, and they still said I haven't been exposed to it, which I don't even know how that's possible. So
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I've come in contact with thousands of people since
Right.
March.
Right.
Like thousands and thousands. So I've been shy about if I can get with people, hang out with certain groups of friends and link up with family or whatever the case may be. I'm going to do so as long as everybody feels okay, right? Obviously, there's people that are asymptomatic, whatever. I get it, I
Yeah.
understand. But going back to what we said before, like I'm not going to just bunker up and not live my life a certain way. Like it is what it is. I know that may sound insensitive or whatever, but you know,
Fuck
I
it,
gotta do what I gotta do. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
gonna do what I do. Like I'm gonna do what I do.
For sure,
Like
for sure. No, I mean, like, that's what I always try to explain to people of like, you know, Bill, my dad is like 79 years old. He's not
yeah,
great health or whatever. Like,
yeah,
like probably has some previous conditions or whatever. Like, Dude, this guy is still, I think they told him to shut his store down in St. Louis for a time being. He's like, man, fuck this thing. Like, I'm
Yeah,
not scared of this shit. You know, he's
yeah, yeah,
like what you said, he's like, if it's my time, it's my time, you know,
yeah,
like, and, and if, you know, like what, I mean, this is the thing that always sounds insensitive now, but like we've forgotten about the fact that like the older you get and the less healthy you become, the higher chances of dying you have, like no matter what, you know.
and the
And
more, and honestly, the mindset wise, the more you don't give a fuck,
totally,
because it's like, all right, I'm on my back nine anyway, so like I know the deal, you know, like I know the deal. 'Cause my dad's gonna be 70 in a couple weeks, and first few months he had um, some shit he was dealing with medically last year or a year or so, a year and change ago, a little scare, and he ended up thankfully being all right with it. But you know, when this all came about, I wasn't able to see him for months. That shit
yeah,
sucked. You know, like that wasn't cool. You know, so
yeah.
I get. But now he got to a point where he's just like, you know, I wash my hands, I sanitize, I do what I gotta do. Like I'm gonna live my life. I want to see my kids and like do my thing. So
Yeah, because I mean, how fucked would it be? And now this is total like devil's advocate, but like, how fucked up would it be if like, and this has happened. This is why I bring it up. But like, an older person, you know, let's say more like grandparents that have to be self-isolated from the family or whatever, and then they end up dying from something that isn't COVID, you know, and it's
yeah,
like, okay, you know, like
yeah, yeah,
what was the risk and reward at that point, you know? You know, like you said the earlier of I, I've gotten into like my dad and I now at least like probably talk on the phone like once a week, which is like
mhm,
we just never neither of us are big
yeah,
phone guys, I think. And but now we've kind
yeah,
of gotten into the habit of doing that, and that's kind of nice.
yeah,
And you know, so there's
yeah.
some definite positives from this whole thing. And like, I mean, shit, I'm thankful for it in a way, because I wouldn't be here in Czech Republic if it wouldn't have happened, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to
No,
stay positive, you know.
yeah, no, I mean, if you look at it, you know, glass half empty, right? It's obviously going to look like a piece of shit of a year. Like, it's going to look terrible
Yeah,
as a whole, right? But I mean, I think a lot of growth and a lot of positive things can come from it, though, the way you look at it, right?
for sure.
And I've taken it that way with a lot of things in my life, and you know, I'm not taking it as a year of a loss or whatever. I'm just taking it as a year as a learning experience, really, you know, and things to take with you moving forward. Um, Relationships you had or wanted to kind of make better. Like again, we're locked down. We can't see certain people. You got new lines of communication, whatever the case may be. It's just a year whole of um, learning new things and understanding how life could take you off course real fast.
For
You know,
sure. For
real
sure.
fast.
No, I mean, like you said, it's made it so evident that like our health is important, and
Yeah,
the people that we have that are in charge. Because like normally a governor, like who fucking cares about what a governor thinks, you know? Like I don't
yeah.
ever. But when fucking Gavin Newsom in California is just running that ship into the fucking
I told you. Did I tell you my brother moved back from Cali?
he moved back.
Yeah, yeah. He moved. They were out there for 6 years. Him and his wife, and his newborn, my nephew. Um, they just moved back this summer, and they were out in
Ah,
the bay. They were out in the bay for like 6 years, and you know they kind of made just the choice that they wanted to raise a little guy out here with family and friends,
okay.
start their family out here, which was awesome to have him back because, like I said, he is. You know, they've been out there for 6 years, so it's good to have the whole family back. I was in Connecticut, you know, last time I was here, so we were all never really in New Jersey since, you know, I was lit like I was in high school, you
Wow.
know.
Okay.
So that's cool. But yeah, they were saying like it was on um about the time that they were just about heading back, like they were saying it was he was shutting a lot of shit down and he wasn't interested in really opening a lot of things back up, and they were going to be very, very strict about a lot of things. So
It,
I
it
don't know what's going on out there. I just hear nothing but bad things really, and not a lot of upside in the near future. So
No, man.
I mean, we ain't too much better out here, to be honest with you.
No,
I'll
no.
be
I
straight
mean,
up about
but
that.
you know me. I've always been a West Coast, best coast advocate, and I'm getting off that fucking train, bro.
He's
West
making
Coast
y'all
is
look
getting
soft as
scary,
shit, man. You guys are
bro.
looking a little soft out there.
Bro, we're scary out there, man.
Yeah,
It's a lot of people that like to complain about whatever they can complain about.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I haven't been over there obviously just because it's been a mess. But like New York City is a ghost town basically,
Yeah,
which is crazy, man. So many businesses boarded up, and I have a few people that have worked in the city, and they just say like it looks like a movie scene. Like there's
damn,
nothing, you
damn.
know.
Yeah,
Like it's crazy.
that's
So
wild.
there you
But
go.
yeah, man, let's switch it up a little. I think we
We
it's
gave
like
our
that's what's so insane right now
I don't know.
that I hate about COVID is it's hard to have like I'm gonna do some more of these Zooms, and
Yeah,
in a way, like you said, it's been good that we've had to adapt and whatever, because I was super against the Zoom stuff before all of this hit, just because I like the energy of being with
yeah,
somebody.
yeah,
But
yeah.
at the same time, like this is pretty damn realistic. Like,
Yeah.
like it's not
Hi,
glitchy,
Joe.
like
Hi.
you're just right there.
You want to spice it up and add like group Zoom um, little sessions in and get other people of different perspectives and different backgrounds and kind of just mix it up a little bit because I think that's the healthiest thing at this point. Like that's honestly that was a lot of the shit that a lot of kids that we had went to school with, they have their opinions on certain things, and I honestly wish we just got in a room and kind of just aired everything out of our
Real.
own, you know, from our own viewpoint of how we look at things. Like again, you're a very unbiased person about a lot of things. I can keep it as real as it can be.
Yeah,
Talking to people, I can see both sides. Certainly, I'm never going to be that extreme on one side or the other. I'll certainly listen and give my take, and I think I'm a pretty fair person in that regard. So I had reached out to I forget a few people that we had played with, but I was just like, yeah, I honestly wish we can just sit in a room because I feel like there's just so much negative energy being sent to a lot of people that we spent a lot of time with and developed relationship with. Anybody that knows the college football atmosphere in that scene, that's a brotherhood, right? That's just another
straight up.
fraternity themselves. So like to see dudes kind of going at each other's necks or like kind of subtweeting or in that sense kind of going about certain people, that shit rubbed me the wrong way and that pisses me off to the core just because I know what we went through together
For
during that
sure.
time.
For sure. And
So I had expressed that to the few people. I was like, I would love if we can all, not obviously everybody, but a nice solid group of people that can get together collectively and kind of air shit out and express themselves of what they feel the current state that we're living through, you
no
know?
doubt. And like you said, it's even worse when we get all these and I'm guilty of, you get all this emotion. I get in my own head about,
Yeah.
oh, fuck, this, that,
Yeah.
whatever. And then you start building a story about whoever that you're thinking, whoever said whatever. And
Yeah.
through text, sometimes you can't tell, meanings or whatever. I had one of my buddies from JUCO get mad at me for, I forget what it even was. I said something about like after the George Floyd thing, like there was no talk of Corona for like a day or two. I forget how it was.
Yeah.
I was being a little sarcastic, very
Yeah.
sarcastic, about how
Yeah.
shouldn't, all of a sudden now Corona isn't a thing for,
Yeah.
and like he got mad at me for like one word out of the entire post.
Yeah.
He was like,
Message.
I agree with the entire post except that you said only something. And I was like, oh,
What?
okay. But like, so one word got, I mean, because he blasted me in the fucking comments, and I was like, dude, like,
Yeah.
if you're really that passionate and strong feeling of like, could we have just talked? And then we did talk, like we had a little
Yeah.
video interview, but like, or video message, but like,
Yeah.
could we have gone to the private one first and then gone like,
Yeah.
just because I don't know, like you said, there's so much negativity and bullshit going on that like can we just nip it in the bud? Can we give some people the benefit of the doubt that like you've had a relationship with your entire, or not your entire life, but a long
Yeah,
time,
yeah, no, definitely. And I think when we get to a point where you can't give there's not a discussion and there's not a difference of opinions when you're in that discussion, then there's no progress,
No,
right? At all,
no,
right? Everybody's just gonna be a yes man. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yep, that's how it should be. No, it doesn't work that way.
no,
There'll never be progress that way.
no,
You have to break a cycle at some point. That's why I always say break the cycle with something that comes very repetitive, right?
for
You
sure.
have to break the cycle. So it's like, I can't express myself in a certain manner, then, and it can't be synonymous or, any parallels that what you're saying that we're discussing, that you cut me off. Like that
Yeah. Yeah.
doesn't work that way, like I don't get it.
Yeah.
So yeah, going back to that, dude, like I would really enjoy a discussion with, people that we were close to for a while that maybe thinking a little bit differently than us, which is again totally cool, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. That's acceptable. I mean, that should be acceptable, but somehow nowadays it's become unacceptable, and people distance themselves from that as opposed to embracing it
Yeah.
and taking it on as allowing them to see a different picture or a different viewpoint from somebody else.
And yeah, and then it just furthers that divide. And there's just so like social
This
media is
country,
so
hey, this
what
country is built on divide.
exactly. And differences.
And I've said that, like, because it got me thinking all this shit. I am the most uh and well, I wouldn't say anti, but I'm not with politics. I don't
Right.
follow it. I don't allow it to consume me because I think it's consumed a lot of people and it's steered their lives in a weird direction right now, especially with all this. Right. I'm not anti. I wouldn't say yeah, 'cause that'd be a
Totally.
little crazy.
You're just you're agnostic. You're
Yeah,
politically agnostic.
exactly. You're the wordsmith, so you can roll with it. So yeah, I mean, it's forced you, right? This time that we're living, it's forced you to kind of dig at least a little bit into what's going on, right?
For sure.
And like the one thing that always just came to mind is just like this country's built on divide. It'll always be that way. We're not all going to be pulling in one direction,
Nope.
right? It'll never be that way. There's always going to be strong feelings about certain things, certain topics, and that's just how it's going to be. We're not going to program what 300 or 400. How many people are in this country, especially our
Like
country here?
300
7 billion people in the world.
yeah,
7
300
billion people in
million,
the world. Yeah,
350
exactly.
million. Yeah.
Like that's not realistic, right?
No.
And that's what people think. They have this little, narrative or something they want to run with, a little piece that they think that, if we pick a certain person, we're all going to be going. We are all going to be going in the right direction. All going to be thinking the
Fucking
same
holding
way.
hands, running down the street.
Kumbaya, right? No, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
It's not that way, and that's just the way it is.
And that's okay.
You know?
Like that's where, I mean, like
Yeah.
we
It's not like you have to associate yourself with 300 million people. You're going to come in contact with how many people in your life?
dude, that's
Like,
and just on that same idea, the concept of like one person ruling all of us is just absurd to me. Like
Yeah.
or
what
rule,
makes him?
like
What makes that person any better than me and you?
nothing,
You
dude.
and
No,
I, right?
yeah. No, it's like that's the thing I've been and I think we could afford, or it would eventually be good for us if we became like this is going to sound bad, like the ununited states of America. Like if every state kind of, we almost took like the European model of like US becomes the EU, and then
Yeah.
states kind of become their own thing, because
Yeah.
what's happening in Kansas and
Yeah.
their problems day to day life aren't the same as what the problems in Miami, and not this.
I'll
There's
tell you what. That dude in Florida, he don't give a shit. He does
well,
not
I
care.
love Florida. I don't know what I keep saying if I move back to the States, because I spent like
It's a redheaded stepchild.
Oh, totally, totally, bro.
Yeah. He's the outcast for
Florida's
sure.
crazy, bro. But like,
Yeah.
I was living in Florida for like 3 months, and I don't know if I could survive the summers there, but I fucking loved Florida, dude. And like that whole like, I guess I always looked down kind of on the South as being a West Coast
Yeah.
kind of liberal city,
Yeah.
but like,
Yeah.
man, the more I get older, like the more I kind of just fuck with like, and not from the fucking Confederate point of view, but just the obviously, but just
That's
from the like
excessive. Yeah.
just the spit your truth with
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
not, without a care about like how someone's gonna think about you, because
Yeah.
dude, we're so caught up in all that, like myself included. I finally, I was trying to be super kind of PC, like still spit my truth, but
Yeah.
also not ruffle some feathers. And then I finally
Yeah.
thought about it and I was like, what am I helping right now? Like, I'm not saying what I really feel. And then
Yeah.
whoever's listening to it isn't like fully, it's like, what's the
Yeah.
point? Like, let's just start speaking a little
Yeah.
truth.
I think there's a point of speaking truth, discussing what you want to discuss, and then there's a line of disrespect, right? Obviously.
Totally. Totally.
And I know you, and you wouldn't intentionally cross that line. If something you may have said may have come off or offended somebody in a certain way, I know you'd be the first person to say, okay, let's talk about it. Like, I apologize for that, right? I'll own up to it. If
Yeah.
I said something a certain way that came off that way, no harm. There was no
Yeah.
intentions for it. It's just, your feelings at that time, you know?
Totally. No, and it's no, I'm curious to see what the future is gonna look like, bro. Because
Yeah.
this is semi like uncharted territory for us, I think, with
Yeah.
this virus, like a big reason I'm so like mm, yeah, I'll say anti-lockdown is like it just sets a precedent for like, okay, next year if there's something similar, like it just worries me that this will become the norm,
Yeah.
and that's what scares me. And so I mean, think about, it's only been 6 to 8 months, and like I don't know what the percentages are. I haven't been back in the States. I only see, the dramatic YouTube and TikToks and all that shit. But
Yeah.
like, it
Yeah.
seems like in 6 months, like some people have really like bought into this system being necessary. And so
The
like,
norm, right?
yeah. And so like, that scares me, and I get it, like I try and have some understanding for everybody, no matter what.
Yeah.
And like if maybe it's easy for me to say this, but like, if my dad or a family member like died because of it, or I became sick with it, like
Yeah.
maybe it would affect me.
That's gonna
But
alter
but
your
I
mind.
also like when I was talking to my buddy about this, like I try to, my dad and I have talked about it, and it was like, he said, I think he said it himself, is like, yeah, it would be fucked up if I got it, but
Yeah.
like statistically, like I would be in the minority, like if at the end of the day there are statistics, whether they're how
Yeah.
perfect they are, they
Yeah.
do have some statistics out, and statistically speaking, like one, you probably don't get it, or and then two, you're probably, if you do, you're probably okay, and so like if
Yeah.
if you do suffer from it, like it's fucking sad, but
Sure.
you're part of, it's like being part of the group that dies in car crashes or gets injured in car crashes. Like there's also a
Yeah.
lot more people that are being sick. I don't know, maybe that's a bad analogy, but
No, I mean, I think you. No, I think you hit on good points. Just because, like the numbers, like you said, we don't know how accurate they are at times. But if they're coming out and saying, any age group up to like 47, 48 years old is a 99.9% chance you'll be okay. Like, how are you not supposed to be like, all right, why the fuck am I just not living my life right now?
for
What are we
real,
doing here?
for real, for real.
Like,
Yeah.
I get it for people that have those pre-existing conditions and, are concerned about certain, um, just different issues that can come about from the virus. I get it. Like, then you should probably take more precautionary steps, put yourself in a safer environment or whatever the case may be. But people that are out there and active and healthy and do what they got to do, why can't we just go back to the norm?
Yeah,
You
no,
know?
I mean, and I know this can come across selfish or whatever, but it's like, and I know you're in the same boat too. Like, I've had like a very conscious thought and effort put forth the last 5 years, I'll say, since I graduated. Like, since I moved to Europe, I've been much more like health conscious about,
Yeah,
eating right, drinking water, not
yeah,
doing this, certain, like, not with like a huge idea of like I need to boost my immune system, but just like I
yeah,
need to be healthy. And man, I haven't, you know, luckily, knock on wood, like I haven't gotten sick, like really
yeah,
sick in, I can't remember how, like I thought
yeah,
maybe I had, well, you said it too, like my birthday weekend, I partied a little bit in Prague and stayed up a little bit later than I had normally, didn't get
yeah.
as much sleep. That next week,
We're-
I was just feeling like shit. And so, like,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I kind of just like,
That's the 30-year-old club.
yeah, I know,
That
maybe that wasn't sickness actually.
yeah, yeah. You can't recover like you used to. Drink
Oh,
that bottle, head out to the blue turf, run them 110s, baby.
no more
You know?
Dubra for your boy.
No,
It's got to
no
be some
more.
high class stuff.
No more. That's right.
But like,
Quality now.
but I've put such an emphasis on this that, like I'm gonna be good no matter what, that
Yeah.
it pisses me off when um I need to sacrifice my life, and I know like, oh, you're only thinking of yourself, but like, yeah, I am only thinking of myself, motherfucker, because no one
Yeah.
else is thinking about me, like
Well,
who else is gonna? And I've spent all this time, effort, energy, money on being healthy over the last 5 years, so that
yeah.
now I need to stay inside so that the
Yeah.
motherfucker who's been eating McDonald's twice a day the last 5 years can maybe survive, which
Yeah.
I know, again, I'm not like wishing death on anybody, but
Yeah.
the motherfucker who's been eating McDonald's every day for the last 5 years could catch anything and be much more apt
Yeah.
to dying than me,
Yeah.
like, so what?
Yeah. The guy was consuming poison probably every day.
For
That's
real.
all it is. It's poison, you know? So, I mean, you know how I was dating back to when you first stepped on campus, how I was with my nutrition. And,
For sure.
I was kind of a maniac about that. But it was once I kind of got in rhythm, and that's what it all is just getting in a rhythm.
Totally.
Once you can kind of set yourself with allowing it to be a pattern of just nutrition and activity and a little bit of an understanding of how to go about certain things and what works for your body because everybody's body's different and
Totally.
reacts differently to different things. So kind of once I just got, like I said, into a rhythm with it, it just became the new norm for me. Like
For sure.
I'm looking at certain things that I used to consume and I kind of just like, there's just no interest in it anymore because I know it's not doing my body any good, because I wanted to make sure that I was at an optimal level physically to be able to perform, especially playing college ball like that. So I kind of that's just been normal for me now. Now, I'll say though, in like the winter months and stuff like that, I allow myself to enjoy a little more treats,
Okay.
right? And then once like it's funny because like once the new year kicks and we get into January, I kind of flip that switch again,
Okay.
go back and just like kind of a maniac into my routine and regimen of how I kind of go about a diet. Like I'm still active working out. I do that all year round,
Yeah,
but
bro. You're
just in terms.
looking buff as fuck these days,
Oh,
bro.
thanks, buddy. I
Like
try.
I
I
see I see music on the gym page all the time, man.
Man, hey, if I'm in that gym and I ain't working out, what the hell am I doing, right? You're
For
doing
real.
yourself a disservice. Like you're just an asshole if you can't stay in that mindset. So it's good because it allows you to lock in all year round when I'm in there. So it's very inspiring type of people that I work around as well in terms of kind of being on the same um, mindset of nutrition and activity and working out. We got a lot of guys that I work with that compete in bodybuilding, which is awesome. So they
Okay,
know
cool.
about the whole prep routine, the grind of the prep leading up to a show. we get athletes that come through, which is picking up a little bit more so that obviously, that I would want to tap into a lot more. So we were first, when it first opened up, it came across as more of like a hardcore bodybuilding type of gym.
Okay.
But we never shied away from welcoming everybody. That was the thing, is that they saw some of our posts social media wise and they just thought it was a meathead gym. And,
Okay.
so we want to kind of go against that stigma or whatever that you want to, whatever you want to call it. And, we have the general public from, we have young kids in high school to middle-aged women to older women to athletes to older males, to mixed martial art fighters. And
That's sweet.
it's broad. It's very broad spectrum, the whole thing. And, we're fortunate that we have a great training staff. We have about 9 now that specialize in a multitude of different things that allows us that flexibility to work with so many different types of people, which is awesome. But yeah, no, I mean, that's just me being in that environment. It would be silly of me to not stay involved with that, keep my body in tip-top shape and kind of just roll with that. I mean, I love it. I enjoy being active and knowing I'm keeping myself healthy, especially like in times like these, right? You look back and say, dude, I prepared myself for this war, like
Real,
in a sense,
dude. Real.
like
Yeah.
your body's ready for that shit. And, I'd be lying if I didn't say like, I definitely picked it up more so in terms of being a little more on top of just different vitamins that or different things that you may think you're probably deficient in.
Yeah.
That's the most thing. A lot of people don't understand what they're deficient in, and that's where it kind of goes off the tracks.
What specifically have you? Because that's kind of probably, I think, my next thing I need to look into is, I think I'm pretty good just with food, with water, with drink, but I'm not, I know magnesium's always talked to, I'm not too well versed in any of the zinc. Okay. Like what
vitamin D, vitamin D, zinc. Yeah. Those are all the main things really. As I was saying before with my tea, I've been a tea morning and night guy now with my ginger green tea and turmeric tea and everything that basically just helps your body flush all the bad toxins out of it,
Right.
Really, that's what I always have waking up, because it just kind of allows your body to reset, flush all the bullshit out. The first thing I'm waking up, I'm not having a bagel, putting something heavy in my system.
Yeah.
Although since being back in New Jersey, we're the Mecca with bagels, bro. So a couple times a week, definitely later in the morning, I'll get that Taylor ham, egg and cheese. Just pound that thing.
You somehow find yourself down at the corner store.
Yeah, but it's okay. But I know that day, that workout's gonna pick up a little bit more. So
For sure, yeah, for sure. So wait, what do I need to take though? Magnesium, zinc, and vitamin D. That's kind of a.
Yeah, you can roll with that. That's good for the. I mean, that's what a lot of people would advise me to do with that. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people drill vitamin C into your brain.
Yeah, actually, I've been taking that just because the dad of a kid that I coach, just like randomly one day was like, "Hey, here's some BCAAs and vitamin C's," and I was like, "All right, bro, thanks." Yeah. So I've been taking that simply because someone gave it to me,
Sure, yeah, but it's not like, oh, you're gonna get sick now because you're not having enough vitamin C. Like, no, that's not how it is. It's mostly more of the bullshit that you're throwing down your mouth in your mouth, So, there's more than enough, basically poison that a lot of people consume that they have no clue about the effect that it's having on their bodies. So, no, I mean, I just seeing stuff you post and certain things that you've talked about. I think you're definitely on the right track with everything you're doing. I mean, it's simple, man.
Totally.
Colors, consume colors.
Exactly. Yeah. The rainbow's a good thing.
That's it. The more greens that you have, certainly, that's obviously key and critical to your diet. What's your deal with like? Are you plant-based for the most part?
No, man. So I was for a while. I think for about 2 years or so. not incredibly strict, but pretty fair. I called myself pregan for about 2 years, where I was pretty vegan. I
Yeah.
wasn't like,
Yeah.
if it was the choice of like eating food, eating a chicken breast at dinner
Yeah.
or starving for the night, like I was gonna eat. Like it's
Yeah.
just how it came down to. Um, and like the first year I did it, I wasn't doing it the right way at all, and so
Yeah.
like I was just not eating, I wasn't eating enough protein and all
Yeah.
that stuff, and it definitely fucked with me mentally. Second year I did it, I was much more like conscious and felt good doing it, but I just still felt like I was missing something.
Yeah.
Um, and then I kind of found this one dude that I follow on Instagram, Ryan Mintz. He's kind of a alternative, I mean,
Yeah.
like all his stuff's super researched and factually based, but
Well, what does he advocate for? Mostly.
he was saying that like, the plant-based like, man, I'm not going to be able to say exactly what he said, but essentially
Yeah.
like every food has a frequency that it gives off or whatever. And um, you know, vegetables,
You are
plants, whatever,
you are what you eat. We hear
totally.
that whole you heard that all growing up as a joke, right? You are what you eat, right? The
Bro,
whole
it's
thing.
true though.
It's
And
literally
so his
to
thing is
exceed what
like
it is.
plants can only go up to, I'm going to just use numbers. I'm not exactly sure if this is
Yeah.
exact. They can only go up to 700 on this frequency scale or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're in like a 300 to 700 range or something. And
Mhm.
meat can be from like 200 to 1100. I'm just, and so
Yeah.
like the idea of plant-based in my mind is much better and healthier if you're eating shitty meat, like, because the vibration of shitty meat is
Yeah. It kind of tilts
less
the scale.
less
Yeah.
than some
Tilts it
good
back.
veggies, and
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
if you get some good quality meat, then that vibration can be higher than the actual plant itself. And so I was really just trying to do, when I was back in the States, like only grass-fed beef,
Yeah.
which is pretty easy to find out there. When I'm out here I've kind of relaxed a little bit since
Yeah.
there was, for a while when I switched from plant-based to eating meat again, I was like, it has to be grass-fed beef, or
Yeah.
that's it.
Organic.
Now
Yeah.
bro, I don't know if you see, but my chicken wing game is getting fucking serious, dog. Like
Legit, huh?
oh boy, I might open up a wing stop when I get back to the
Should.
snow.
You
And
should.
so I've been a little more lax with that, and
Yeah.
now just kind of like I found myself getting like incredibly like mental about it, where I'd start to feel bad if I didn't eat a certain thing, or if I was eating, and so like it almost
Yeah.
like fucked with me more mentally than it did physically.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so
your
now
mind
I'm
will take something and run with it, man. Your mind takes things and runs with it if you allow
totally
it to. You know?
totally. And so I'd get in
Yeah.
this thing of like, oh, I didn't do that, like like now
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, if I think it's all right and I feel good about it,
Yeah.
obviously I'm going to be conscious. I'm still having an occasional pack of gummy candy, like if I'm going to get my
Yeah.
poison in, I'm getting it in the gummy candy form, like
Yeah.
still do that, but like just not feel so bad about whatever I do.
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
my thing now though is, and I got this from this Mince guy, is like first thing in the morning I try and do is have, within 30 minutes of waking, is have honey or maple syrup of
Okay.
some kind of sugar to get, again, he can explain it so much better than me, but it's essentially just like your organs need some sugar, like our body
Yeah.
runs off of sugar, and like the raw honey is the best form of sugar you can get. And I noticed if I do that in the beginning, then I'll maybe do like a beef patty right after, like sugar and then some protein, like back to back,
Yeah.
and then go work out. And I haven't been sticking to this too well the last month or two being in quarantine, but when if I would have stuck to those two things and then go work out, oh my God, it's snowing here right now. Jesus Christ.
Snowing.
snowing. Yes, it just started snowing out of
Wow.
nowhere. It was sunny to start the day. Um,
Wow.
but if I go with those two things, I'm not as hungry in the morning, and then I can work out, and then I can just crush some food after I'm done working out. But if I start
Yeah.
with those two things, I'm good.
Yeah. I usually, when I wake up now, and probably over the course of this year mostly, is when I really started getting into like gut health.
Okay.
That's the biggest thing, honestly, with your body, and basically just releasing all the bad bacteria and shit like that.
Yeah.
Um, I wake up and, like I said, I go with the tea, a little lemon in it to help the detox, and then I have an apple.
Okay.
And that's like my first thing when I wake up.
That's
All
good.
things helping the
That's some
body.
sugar.
Yeah,
That's some sugar, natural sugar in there also.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Apple, dude. I was having like two apples. When I wake up, apples. I'll have one apple in the morning and then one apple late afternoon. And it helped a little bit with appetite as well,
Okay.
because as you know, my appetite, I'm a raging maniac with eating. So I just had to kind of structure my day in a sense where I'm not constantly just hammering food, because I could
Right.
do that all day, as you know.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that would usually be my go-to: tea and apple, get the body working, get all systems going really, and then like an hour and a half, 2 hours later, I'll have my breakfast. I'll have omelet, broccoli, spinach, and then I've been baking and roasting sweet potatoes, diced, lights out,
Bro,
lights out,
I'm on the sweet potato hype big time
man.
myself.
Oh yeah, my sweet potato game is nice right now in the oven.
Would you
And
how are you cutting them? How are you? I've been making
uh,
fries lately.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm a massive sweet potato fry guy. Love
Yeah.
it, love
Yeah.
it. I just dice them. I peel them and then I just dice them really.
Okay.
Um, a little olive oil in a pan, garlic and pepper, and throw it in there for like 20-25 minutes. And I get a nice crisp to it, and then I just have my omelet with, like I said, broccoli, spinach, egg white omelet, and then I throw some salsa on top.
Okay.
I like the
Okay.
salsa. That's my little mix up. I like the salsa on top, man. I was doing buffalo sauce for a while.
I just got into that.
What's that?
I just found some Frank's Red Hot Buffalo
Oh
in the
yeah,
grocery store here.
there you
And
go.
I've been
Yeah,
I'm one day away from just injecting it into my veins,
you might as well. Yeah, yeah, it's addicting. Yeah, yeah. So I like the little change up of the salsa. It's good. Sometimes I'll have like ground turkey with it as well,
Okay.
depending on how much protein I want to throw down early in the morning.
What are you weighing these days?
Well, as I said earlier, these months I get a little fluffier, right? Put on a little more weight. I'm like around like 210 right now.
Okay. Okay.
So in the summer months, and like I said, once I started making that switch, so probably like shit, March to like August, I'll usually be, as of the last 2 years, I'll usually be sitting like low 190s, which, dude, I wasn't low 190s since I was a senior in high school.
Damn.
But my body feels good. Like I feel like nimble and being able to move around. I feel good right now, honestly, just with some of the training I've done, and I've been staying active and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, like I said, winter months and stuff like that, I'm usually 210 range, and then summer months when the shirt's off and you're feeling good about yourself, I like to be a little bit more ripped up. Then I'll be like low 190s.
Okay.
But it's
Okay.
what sucks, right? What sucks is when you're going to buy clothes, right? So I gotta buy two separate sets of clothes for different seasons of the year. It's crazy, It's crazy.
For sure.
So,
For sure.
but yeah, it's good though, man.
That's
It's good.
funny. Well, hey, let's get into. I know you don't have too much time. How much time you got?
Like 10-15 minutes.
Okay, cool. Well, let's go into like you're coaching right now. You said right?
Yeah, high school. We're finishing up actually next week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was
How
9 months.
how has this season been? You've been how's it gone?
Um, so we started up allowing. Um, they split it up into phases before the actual season started.
Okay.
All right, so there was like 3 or 4 phases. The first phase was a nightmare, really. They had to be sectioned off into different pods, these kids.
Okay.
And you could only go to each station of the workouts that we were doing. Granted, no equipment, nothing. I was just putting together body weight circuits for them. This was the first step so no weight room, no weights, right? Can't do any positional drills, can't use a football. It's only just like running around and being in your own little pod. And that's your pod for that first phase. So there's like 10 kids in each pod.
Okay.
And we would just, like I said, we'd do different stations. We'd obviously practice social distancing and all that stuff. And I would just put them through like an hour circuit. We'd finish off with running. And that lasted for a couple weeks. And the second phase consisted of incorporating the football and kind of just walking through like some of our plays and stuff. We were throwing to a little bit, throwing to each
disinfecting the ball after.
Yes. Everything that you can imagine. Yes.
Oh my.
Doing all that. So it was very hard to teach, fundamentals, because a lot of times I wasn't even working with my position group, because these position groups are, they were together based off of like their grades, so we weren't trying to put freshmen with seniors and stuff like that. We were trying to keep it as consistent as possible. So a lot of times I wasn't working with my position group, so I wasn't really getting as much hands-on time as I'd want to. So that affected that, certainly. Just the whole like cohesiveness and building that team chemistry through the summer months. You know how it is, man. Those grind it out type of days. You weren't able to do that. Kids were getting dropped off by their parents, right? They're sitting in their car until it's actual practice time. Then they come out, they get changed on our little side path we have right next to the practice field, which is they have like outdoor basketball courts that are connected to our high school there, where they get dressed and stuff like that. They carry their water bottles out to the field. They have to keep their water bottles separated, right? Like it was a whole just shit show, right? So we went from July 1st until the end of August. July 1st was, the off-season type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That led into August, and then into the end of August. And then, that season was pushed back a month. So we didn't start training camp until September 14th, where it had originally been August 14th.
Okay.
All right. So they gave us from September 14th, they gave us 2 weeks for training camp. We did that, opened up October 2nd. And yeah, just the feel and the vibe of it all. It's not as much of a controlled environment as you'd want it to be. There's a lot of moving parts. We've had a couple cancellations with teams to where we had to get fill-ins.
Really?
Fortunately, it worked out. Yeah. Fortunately, it worked out. We were able to get some other teams in our group that, thankfully had a cancellation of their own. So we were able to just match up with that team. So we had 2 or 3 of those.
How many games total did you guys play?
It's going to be 9. It'll be 9. Yeah. So we have a game tonight against our rival. So yeah, so it'll be a nice environment. I live right by the field, the home field. So it's right down the street.
This is the high school you went to?
Yeah. High school I went to. My buddy's the head coach. And yeah, he had a position that was opening. I know this was back in January, so I know I had some free time to give back and help out, and I thought it was a great idea. And, it's been solid. Like I said, there's been some rough patches just because with the COVID thing, it's affected it mightily. And I've wanted to get a little bit more hands-on with the kids, but it's just so tough with the time constraints that you have. It's just a limited amount of time you get with the kids,
For sure.
I'm used to, especially going back when I was coaching with you guys and after playing, like all that film time you have and all that meaningful one-on-one time you have with each kid. And it's just like, you don't get that, especially at high school, obviously, but even more so now with COVID, like it makes it crazy, so it's very limited teaching. It's just kind of rolling the ball out there and saying, hey, go play football and hope for the best, which sucks. That's not how this game works, as you know.
Not at
this
all.
Is a very detailed football game. And all the little details and nuances and all those kind of things, those matter at the end of the day. That separates the winning teams from the losing teams. So, yeah, no, it's been interesting. Again, it's an experience.
Yeah.
right? That I'll look back years down the road and say, holy shit, man, I coached during the whole COVID crisis that we had going on, right? So
What's your guys' record? How are you guys doing?
um, we're actually 3-4 right now. We had a couple slip away, unfortunately, in the last quarter. We could have very well been 4-3, even 5, or 3-4. I said, yeah, 4-3, or even 5-2.
Okay.
But we got a very junior laden type of ball club where we got a lot of guys coming back, a lot of guys playing significant roles that are mostly juniors. So nice little, yeah, it's a good way to just look at the future for the kids as well. Kids that are coming back next year. We have a very small senior class, but the seniors that are there, they play very significant roles. So, I'm hoping we can just send these kids off the right way. That's the end of the day, how I look at it. We weren't guaranteed. It was a week to week basis kind of thing. We didn't know if we were going to get shut down. We had a couple scares, definitely, with a couple kids that had been in the presence of somebody that may have had COVID, so they had to quarantine. So we've had to lose a couple guys, right? Over the last couple weeks, they've limited the amount of kids that can travel on buses. Dude, it looked like a youth football game. We had like 23 guys with us last week. It's crazy, 11 guys out in the field. There's 12, 13 guys on the sideline. It's like, holy crap, right? So, yeah, and
Can't get hurt.
the stands aren't as filled, right? Which I'm actually happy about tonight. This will be the first game that we'll have students. A small number of students. They're allowing like 100 students to come tonight, which will be cool.
Dope. Especially against our rivals, that'll be great.
Yeah, they're crosstown rival. So it'll be fun.
How do you feel like I've been coaching some youth ball out here in Europe, and I view our generation of youth ball to be a little bit more tough, or I just remember like growing up, my dad being the coach and some other dads, like they didn't give a fuck. Like, I mean, they care deeply about us, but like,
for sure, yeah,
they let it rip, and
so
how do you feel like change of generation, being kind of a little bit older guy? Like, how do you see high school ball right now? Because I only see it from the Europe, I don't get to see it in America, in the States.
Yeah. I think it just comes down to, honestly, kids nowadays are more distracted.
Okay.
That's really what it is.
Yeah.
The distraction side of it. They're being pulled in so many different directions. They feel like certain things are probably more important to them that really aren't at the end of the day when they look back in probably 10 years from now. And that what they're getting involved in, or what interests them the most, where you and I both know the lessons that you learn from football and sports in general are miles and miles above anything else that you really want to do growing up, in terms of just teaching lessons and learning lessons and things that transition or basically they do transition into your life, your adult life, that show you, okay, how to deal with adversity, time management, how to deal with authority,
exactly,
right? All those things, just being tough and just being able to battle back and being resilient, all those things that go into it. You don't learn those type of things sitting at home playing video games, scrolling through your social media, creating a TikTok, whatever the hell these kids do now. It's like, it's tough, honestly, to get used to, just because we're not that far removed from that. I mean, it is 11 years or 12 years, whatever, but it's not that far removed, and it's how much has changed in just a short window. It's crazy to think what the next 10 years are going to look like. Totally. And it kind of worries me because just I know how the youth programs were growing up, football especially. We had some pretty good times in here, and a lot of people that were just very, very invested, very much so invested in the youth programs and the football programs especially. And yeah, you could just tell there's just a bit of distractions that are going on that you can see who's really invested and who's really into it, and just some people that are just oh, I'm going to play football because my parents told me to. Kind of
Right.
thing. You know,
Right.
and if you know how I am. You know, I'm very passionate about this game, as you are as well. And if I feel like I'm just spewing words when I'm coaching, that pisses me off more than anything. You know, because
For sure.
and I get it being a teacher, right? You want your undivided attention. You got kids, guys like me, sleeping or dicking around in class. So I get it now. I get the struggle, right? But when it's like football, when it's something that,
But school was
that
mandatory. You know, like
right,
football is technically you want to
you
be there.
choose this.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
choosing to do this. So why
Yeah.
wouldn't you go out there and give it everything you got, learn some stuff that allow you to kind of take this with you for the rest of your life? You're playing a game with your buddies, with your friends, right? Like you're
Exactly.
never gonna I wish every day I can go back and do that. There's so many times in that practice I want to throw a helmet on and run through somebody. Like
I'm
I
surprised you
wish
haven't.
yeah, I wish for it a lot. And it's just you can't do it, right? So it's just lessons like that these kids just it's a shame because they're gonna look back and say, wow, I was a dummy,
Yeah.
I didn't go about that the right way. I could have taken advantage of that opportunity a little bit more so than I did. Who knows? I could have played college football possibly.
Totally.
Who
Yeah.
knows? And a lot of guys don't hit that kind of um, that ascension to where they can see their body really develop and understand. I may have a shot to play college football. They don't ever get there because they don't really put the effort forth, or they may not have somebody backing them and supporting them to allow them to believe that they can actually go and do this.
Right.
I think that's a lot of things too. Is like I'm really into just pushing belief into a program and from the jump, understanding like if you can't believe in yourselves and your teammates, you're already behind the eight ball. You're already behind.
For
You have
sure.
no shot going forward. So if you're already hesitant in what the goals may be or what this season might look like, it's going to be a rough stretch. And that's. But yeah, it definitely is. It's certainly different from when we played. No doubt about it.
No doubt.
Right? No
Yeah.
doubt about it. But I think that's just what kind of rules and the standard you set from the top, right? I think that's everywhere though. At the end of the day, if you set a standard and you basically walk things through early on, what are the rules? What are we about? What are we going to go forward as a team, as a program? And they buy in. Obviously, you want them to buy in. You have to earn that trust. Trust is a big thing nowadays too. I should have spoke of too. Is trust is big with these kids. Um, and if you can get them to trust you, I think you can get them and mold them into any sort of fashion you really want to at the end of the day. So, um, yeah, it's been interesting though, and like I said, I hope we really do end off on a high note with these kids because it's been a rough stretch, and I definitely wouldn't want to be playing football under these circumstances because it's just the energy and the vibe. It's just not a high school football atmosphere that you'd want to play under.
Yeah.
You
No,
going out there with a few people in the stands, and it's like a bastardized game. It's a practice at the end. It's a game scrimmage that you'd play, before the season.
yeah, no,
So
I feel bad because like in Washington they haven't played at all. Like, I think the
yeah.
plan is to play in the spring, and it's just
Yeah.
like it's scary for I mean, bro, my senior year
I look at it as all these years losing a year of development.
yeah.
That's really what it is. Like in all realms of life, really. But with football, especially, like their body developing. So these kids aren't working out or lifting or running. During this off season, it was very limited, right? They don't have access to weights. A lot of them don't have access to weights and being
Yep.
able to do what they do. And then the coaching aspect of it, being able to really be in depth with film and different teachings and different scheme of what you want to do with the kids. That's limited. Um, Recruiting side of it, limited,
Right.
right? Like that sucks, man. Especially kids that are sophomores and juniors, where these are the biggest years for them to really start getting looked at. That's being hindered right now, right? That's being affected. So like all those things, kids losing out on Like, think of kids this past spring that lost out on that season. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That would have irked me to the core. Like, I would have never wanted to go out that way. Never ever want to go out that way.
No, I mean, it makes me think like, bro, I didn't start till my senior year of high school because
Yeah,
I should have started my junior year, got in a little trouble that affected that
yeah,
one. But like, I'm just thinking if I'm that senior in Washington right now and it's shut down and maybe we'll play in the spring,
yeah.
like, what?
Yeah, we were just told yesterday about the winter sports there. One of my buddies on staff, it's a coach, wrestling coach. They're not starting until March 1st.
Wow.
I think basketball's starting up in January, I
Okay.
believe. So like everything's getting pushed, man. Like it's just a crazy world we're living in,
It is.
unfortunately.
It
Yeah,
really is.
but
That's
you
like
got to
the
embrace it, though. You got to embrace it.
yeah, I know. I mean, I and I'm trying to like we said, find the positive. I've I've had some positives already happen in 2020, and I was saying, like everyone right now likes to use 2020 as like an excuse for like not leveling up or like not doing
Yeah,
something, and it's
yeah,
like if if 2020 really really sucks, like yeah, it's partially due to circumstances, but that's also on you. Like that's on you. Like
yeah. No, like, did you pick up any new hobbies?
um, I've been reading a little bit more. I
Yeah,
have, like now. I guess podcasting was already a hobby, but I got incredibly consistent with this, and like
yeah,
now that I got the Zoom thing down, like I've got I've got one scheduled. I got like 4 or 5 scheduled in the next week or two. And so I'm going
okay,
to just kind of try and like, also, cause to be honest, like I don't get to fucking talk to anybody out here. And so I
yeah,
was like, man, let me line up a conversation with somebody once a day. I can at least talk to somebody for an hour, and if I do
yeah,
talk to somebody out here, I got to be a little more simple with my English, a little slower.
yeah,
And so,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
those two I've just gotten a little bit better with my cooking. Cooking was already solid, but just kind of getting
Okay,
into
okay,
that,
okay, okay. All right.
just trying to get better, just trying to be a little bit more of an adult, I guess,
Yeah,
like I'm not trying to grow up, but just be a
yeah.
little bit more
Understanding and
consistent sleep
compassionate.
schedule, a
Yeah,
little bit just better habits as a
yeah,
whole, you know,
yeah.
um, which includes the
Good.
reading, which includes the doing, includes all that stuff. And so, um, yeah, I guess not really any new hobbies, but just kind of ramping up on the stuff that I've been saying I want to do, but I don't have time to do it.
Always
And
put it in the back burner. Yeah,
motherfucker, I
yeah.
got all the time in the world now. You
You
know?
do. You certainly do.
I can sleep
That's
8
awesome.
hours. I got the rest of the 16 free.
Ain't got shit else to do.
Yeah, and so I was last month or so. I hadn't been super good with like being active or anything, just because there's nowhere to do it. And I
Yeah.
found a pull-up bar, a dip bar out in the woods the other day. I was kind of just walking around, so I've been hitting that, just kind of
There you go.
getting back to did a little yoga before we talked this morning, and so
There you go.
now I'm just
All right.
getting back into the activity
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
So nothing too crazy. You pick anything
Yeah.
new up?
Yeah. You know what? I started playing golf in May.
Hmm.
Always was like, I don't have the patience for it. I'm way too competitive to where I'm gonna lose my mind out there.
Yeah.
Because for a while I'd give it a try. I would suck. I'd be like, again, I'm pretty good. I can at least hold my ground in majority of sports. I can
Yeah.
contribute. But that it was like, shit, man. Like it's a technical game, man.
For
Very,
sure.
very technical, right? So I tried it out in May and I really started getting into it, man. And I took it as a challenge of myself. Like, I took some pointers from friends that had been playing for a little bit. And then I took it on myself to really just take everything they've given me and push it forward to the effort that I want to put in terms of the technical side of it, the swing, all the different nuances that go into actually hitting the ball the right way. And I just took that as a challenge on myself, and I was going multiple times a week. Oh shit. What the fuck?
What happened?
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Where the fuck did it go?
I can still see and hear you still.
Oh really? Hold
Uh-huh.
on. Oh, there you go. Some what the hell was that thing? Something just popped up.
Will porno pop up what or what?
No, I wish. I wish. No, it was like one of the antivirus things to purchase. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, no, golf. It's kind of a new little love for me now, which is
That's
pretty
cool.
cool. I've stopped honestly once like the season started with football. It was
Okay.
tough to get out there. So last time I think I played was in September, but throughout the whole pandemic, from shit, like I said, I started up in May till about September. I was going pretty strong, and I've made ridiculously drastic strides over those
Sick.
months, which is cool to see. Yeah, like I was able to at least hang around with some guys that have played for years. It wasn't the best, right? But I had moments and flashes of, oh, this dude can play a little bit,
Yeah, you
which
might
is
win.
cool.
You can win one hole every now
Yeah.
and then.
Oh yeah, dude. Like when I played on my first 18 and I parred back to back holes, I was like, I feel like fucking Tiger Woods out there fist pumping, dude. I had the little Lynx drinks they have on the course, that they have going around on different holes. They'll give you different drinks on the course,
Okay.
alcoholic beverages,
Okay.
and started throwing those back. I was feeling myself. I'm like, let's go, you know. So yeah, I thought I thought over those course of those months, I didn't think I'd see those improvements that I made, but they were coming pretty fast.
Dude,
And
and it's
it's just the challenge I think I put in my brain. I knew there was nothing else to do really that we could do, and it's a new hobby, so I might as well take it full steam ahead and see what can come of it. So now it's something that I could take with me going into this next season, and it's a great way to meet up with friends and shoot the shit and have
for
just a
sure.
competitive atmosphere ahead. And um, so that was definitely cool. And then also I want to get it a little bit more into like hitting pads and stuff, boxing a little bit.
Okay.
Um, I started doing it a little bit. I do like 10, 15 minutes of just shadow boxing just to get some cardio going
Okay.
a couple times a week. I've hit pads with one of our trainers who he's an MMA fighter. He's had a fight this past year, but he's gonna take a little time off to really hone in on his skill set and really work his ass off to put a product out there in the ring in a year or so to where he's gonna try to go big time eventually. But
Oh, dope. Yeah, that's something I'd like to get into a little bit is the
yeah,
boxing or some kind of
yeah.
not like I'm trying to go fight on the street or anything, but
No, no, no.
I also think like
It is great to have a self just being having an understanding for self defense in general, right?
exactly.
It's always good to have that art.
No, because bro, I've never really gotten in a fight. Like
Yeah,
I've never like squared up one on one with somebody. I've been in like brawls in football. I've been in like weird little
sure.
like house party kind of brawl, like not really just always trying to like manage, but then sometimes
Yeah.
some shoving, but I
I mean,
really,
as a man, as a pride thing, you'd want to know how to throw a punch, right?
yeah. And I'd like to know if, if I need to stick up for myself, I can. And if I
Right.
can't, then okay, let me not fucking get my ass kicked, like if I can't do
Yeah,
this, I want to know my limits. So like if
yeah,
so and so needs some help, like it's either going to be me helping them or I'm
yeah,
going to call somebody else to help them. I need to know
yeah.
what
It's a
side
it,
I'm on. And
it's a great release. Honestly, it's a great just overall release of just all shit you have built up, or just a great way of doing a variation of just doing cardio.
yeah,
Instead of running up a hill or riding a bike or something like that, it's doing sprints. This is a great way to get full body working,
Yeah, and
core
like you
and
said
everything.
with the golf thing that I've noticed, like with my editing, with my podcast, with my like the more like video stuff I've been doing is like, bro, the feeling of improvement is
Yeah, satisfaction, right?
so rewarding, and
Yeah,
like being able to look back on old videos or old podcast, old whatever, and being like, okay, it wasn't bad, but like now I'm so much better or faster at this or whatever. And like that's the cool thing that I've realized, like having something that you can get better in
yeah,
is like mentally so rewarding, like with football at this point, like obviously I can get a little bit better with some throws or footwork, but like I'm probably at my close to my peak, like at this
yeah,
point in my career,
yeah,
although I feel like
right,
I'm almost at my prime right now. But
yeah.
I wish I was, bro, if I could have been this fast in college, bro, might have gave Ronnie football run for his money.
Oh, little cat, huh? Little Kit Kat, you are now, huh? There you
Oh,
go.
yeah, well, maybe just everyone else is slower, and that makes me feel bad. I don't know, but no,
Who knows? Yeah, I don't know.
but no, I just like the feeling of improvement. You're like,
Yeah,
I
those small little achievements, right? Even if they're the littlest things, like going back to golf, I was slight. I had a tendency to constantly slice, right?
okay,
Slice the ball away, slice the ball away, and it's a struggle after a while. It's irritating, right? It's
yeah,
very defeating, and it messes with you. But for whatever reason, I never, because I took it as like, I know I'm not good anyway. Like I'm
yeah,
starting from the ground up. I can take this headache of having to deal with overcoming getting that ball to hit it straight, right? I was
yeah,
okay. I was accepting of it because like I know I suck already. It's not to where like I'm going out and playing basketball. I know I could play years ago, and then I'm going out there and I'm just sucking bad, and I'm just like, oh, I can't even do this anymore. I can't even. There's no way I can compete. I can't shoot anymore. This is like I'm starting from the ground up.
right,
This is like almost like I'm 6 years old with a golf club in my hand, trying to play. So I never got down on myself, and dude, like I said, there's just little achievements that you get from going from slicing it just to keeping the ball straight.
yeah,
I was like, dude, this is awesome. Like this is the greatest thing ever. To actually hitting it on the green, to making a putt that I never
dude,
thought I'd make, like all those little things stack up, and you're just like, it was worth the process has been worth it, and just enjoying it the whole way.
for sure. No, that is it's a good reminder, and I think that like helps you like stay young in a way, and then also
Yeah.
like I've noticed
Oh yeah.
too, I'm sure you is like, hanging around high schoolers or the younger age, even though it's like pretty frustrating, it can be frustrating at times, like
Oh yeah.
I love that shit because like I mean, everyone's energy rubs off on everyone whether we want to or not, and like just
Yeah.
getting some of that youthful
Yeah.
stupidity at times is like, okay, like let's, like I feel better and I feel a little bit
Yeah.
younger at times, which is
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. Yeah. It allows you to not grow old so fast,
Exactly.
Like you said, it keeps you youthful, keeps the mind youthful. And I think that's one of the things that as we age, a lot of people in society, they allow themselves to grow old in a sense.
For
They
sure.
allow it,
For sure.
however way they may go about it, but they allow themselves. They stay away from the things that kept us youthful. Um, that was the fun aspect of things growing up. Like I don't know why people get away from things they did as a youth.
Yeah.
Like what? Because you're not supposed to now because you're older and you're gonna look corny and dumb. Like
Yeah.
no, why would you do that? Do things that you love, right?
Yeah.
Things that always made you happy and brought joy to your life. Why wouldn't you continue on doing that? I'm gonna continue to try to run a route on the field as long as I can. My head coach thinks I'm a jerk off sometimes when I'm out there just like giving a quick like stick into a cut on the top of my route. But I don't care. I want to feel like I can still do it.
For
You
sure.
know?
Yeah.
Like why should I feel like an idiot if I know I can still go out there and route somebody up? Like I'm gonna do it if I can. You
Hell
know?
yeah. No,
So
and I don't know. It's like there's like this weird pride, or like, I don't know, like I've put my time, like there's like a,
Yeah.
maybe it's pride. I don't know
I'm
what.
gonna punch out. I'm gonna punch out now. I've put my
Yeah,
work in.
like I'm past that. And it's like,
Yeah.
well,
Why?
why, like
Why?
for what reason, I
Yeah.
that's the thing out is because once you stop, man, it's tough to get back started.
Yeah.
And
Very much so with
I
everything.
mean,
Yeah.
real tough. And so people get caught up in it. I don't know. It
I
is
think
what
they
it
get.
is.
I think they get caught up in what's happened over the course of their lives and what they've seen,
Yeah.
right? What they've seen in front of them
And
and
what you're
what they're
supposed to
used to.
do. And it's
Yeah.
been, everyone likes to say, oh, oh, do you feel old now at 30? Or, oh yeah, just wait, your body's going downhill. Or I'm like, no, actually my body feels better now than I probably did at 20, because
Right.
I've adjusted the workouts and what I should do, and
Yeah.
I know what my body needs, and
Yeah.
I'm not just doing the same old shit. And so
No, yeah. Think about it when you're in college, especially playing a sport. Like you're being forced into a workout program that, you have to do. You have to stress it and put your muscles and joints at a compromising position to where they'll be like, whoa, what the fuck's going on? Right. To where you get older, it's kind of more so about maintenance and just keeping that balance of your body, mobility, flexibility, all that stuff that at the end of the day makes you and allows for your body to last a lot longer than pounding it away on your joints with
for
all the weight,
sure, for
right? So
sure. No, I
obviously there has
think
to be
I
a
was.
balance. I'm still, I still do heavy lifting, not to the extent that I was before, but to put muscle mass on, you're gonna have to move some weight regardless. You ain't
Totally,
gonna
yeah.
be sitting there doing bands all day, and it's not gonna gain muscle, right?
No,
So
no.
a healthy mix of both is
For
definitely what
sure.
I'd always advise. So
No doubt. Yeah. I mean, I think I was my body type. I think I missed my true calling as a cross country runner with my body type. And so,
nice, yeah,
but just
yeah,
adjusting the things here and there that, I mean, like you said, I'm still lifting weight. I'm never trying to
yeah,
like max. I mean, very rarely, just because like,
yeah.
what is it going to solve for me as a QB at this point in my career?
Mm-mm.
But like, no, I'm feeling good, but I think people just like to get into that idea of like, and it's kind of like a societal pressure or whatever of like, at a certain age, this is what you're supposed to be doing or not be doing
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever. And it's like, man, fuck it. Whatever, do
yeah.
what you want to do.
Do what makes you happy at the end of the day.
Yeah, bro. Well,
Do what makes
shit,
you
bro.
happy.
I'm glad we did this. My Zoom guinea. I know you got to. We're like 20 minutes over what you said you could do right
No,
now.
that's okay. Yeah, it's totally cool. Yeah, no, dude, if you, like I said, I can legitimately do this as a weekly thing because I think it's healthy to wake up, get your mind working, right?
Totally,
Um, Seeing different viewpoints of different people and um, talking about healthy topics, I think that's just good in general, and it's something that, like I said, if this is something you want to continuously do and add some more people to it, like we had talked about before,
for sure.
I'm all in. Right?
Alrighty.
Don't ever hesitate to reach out, man. And I hope you stay well out there, huh?
Yeah, I will. Likewise. Yeah, we'll have to do, because we didn't. I thought we were going to talk about some UNH stories and stuff like
We
today,
could
but
certainly get into that. We
we
could
we
certainly
we,
get
we
into
kept
that.
it current, which is good. But no,
Who would
definitely.
be a good, who would be a good guest to have on here is Falco, Matt,
Oh yeah.
because he works right in the meat of all this nonsense in the city. He works in the Department of Health essentially, and he's been front lines this whole time. So
Ooh,
he'll be able to give a little more insight on a lot of stuff going on. Obviously, we could chop it up UNH style for sure.
hell
But
yeah.
yeah, like there's certainly people that we can get on here and can give you some pretty damn good content. So again, if you wanted to do this weekly, I would absolutely be in.
Alrighty, cool, bro.
Absolutely.
cool, bro. Yeah, let's. I
Ton of
mean,
things, ton of things to talk about. So
yeah, we can go forever. And that's now that I've got the Zoom thing kind of dialed, and hopefully this all saves right, and I've got everything solid. Then we can start
if if not, man, if not, we can always do it again, right?
for sure. For sure. No, I
We
mean,
ain't
I
going,
think
we ain't
I
going
think it's
anywhere.
all good. I think we'll be good. And so, um, no, we
Don't
can.
make me look too bad on it. Good, take the good pieces of it. Make me look a little bit of like I know what I'm talking about.
I got you, bro. No, this is a good one. This is a good one. Just a good
Yeah,
little conversation. Nice to
yeah.
talk. I mean, that's what like the podcast. I've always been, whenever I do chop it up with a homie that I haven't talked to in a while, it's always
Yeah,
like we touch on some shit, and I'm like, damn, I wish someone else could hear this conversation that we're having.
uh,
And so it's like that's what now with the Zoom calls, it's like fuck it, make it a podcast.
absolutely,
People
absolutely.
got
When I,
time to listen now.
dude, how many times? I mean, I feel like we've been talking about this for years, though. I've always said to you, let's do a podcast,
I know, I know.
right?
Yeah.
I would love to do it. I love to talk about everything and just chop it up, man. And because we all got a lot of built up shit inside of us that we'd want to express, but I think especially both of us, like we had harped on before, the way we express things are pretty fair and straightforward. We're never going to be too extreme on either end, and we'll keep it real with people. I mean, that's what it is at the end of the day, you know.
Hell
Keep it
yeah.
real.
Hell yeah,
Um,
bro. Alrighty, man. Well, until next time, and we'll try and make it sooner rather than later.
Absolutely. All right, brother.
My guy,
Stay
Nick
well. All
Music.
right.
Alrighty, you too.
All right.
Take care. Much love, brother.
Yes, sir.
Living for a living, baby. How you doing?